Somewhere back there, the sun is rising, but I can't see it because across the entire horizon is a thick barrier of clouds. Breaks up there, just not there where the sun's supposed to be. A damn spider just tried to abseil into the Shuttlepod. Did you guys know we have flying spiders? They don't fly so much as glide around on long threads of thin webbing that they spool out behind them so it catches the wind, and they just glide along, they just parachute along. And as soon as I opened the door, one just went woo into the car, and his abseiling line got caught on the door hinge, so he just swung around in the breeze for a bit, and he was like, all right, I'm just going to crawl down onto this guy's hand. No. Hello Tuesday, good morning everybody. So, what does today have in store for old Blunty? Nothing. Well, nothing I know about yet anyway. Nothing scheduled, no inspections. There were no new properties that popped up last night on the real estate places. That was a Freudian slip. Maybe I need a little retail therapy. Go buy something. Go on a little toy hunt again. See what I can find to amuse myself for $5 or something. Still got a little crick in my back of my neck and tension, and I might be withholding some anxiety in the bones and muscles or something, because yeah, that headache I struggled with yesterday, the tension headache, is still sticking around, and I keep clenching my jaw, which is not making it better. So I need to find some way to not just relax but detension. I don't know, I guess the one thing that's inescapable from the front of my mind is waiting to hear back about that place that they emailed me about yesterday. Said, hey, we checked your references, we sent your application to the owner, blah blah blah. So at some point today they said, we hope to get back to you within 24 hours, but if the owner's availability is squiggly, then it might take more than that. Why even mention 24 hours if it might not be 24 hours? So we'll get back to you in 24 hours, unless we don't. Just don't say it in the first place. Don't put people on tenterhooks like that. Say before the end of the week, something like that, all right? Something more vague and useful. Well, not useful, but less annoying to people like me who ruminate. Yeah, at some point today, possibly, I'll hear back. I'm expecting to be denied because hope is a poison that I'm just not letting into my mind anymore. That's depressing, isn't it? I've been doing... Look, I'm allowed to get a little disheartened about it. This is 100 days. This is episode number 100 of this Shuttlepod vlog series. 100 days without a home. Now, to be fair, I haven't been hunting for a place to live for that many days. It has been maybe 50 days. We'll call it, I don't know, I'll work it out. I'll put it on the screen. That many days that I've been actively hunting for a rental in this particular city, Ballarat. Before that, it was, traveling around and getting the van sort of livable and sorting out a routine and what I need and what I don't need and what's useful, and just waiting for packs to happen. And then we did packs, and then after that came back to Ballarat. That's when I started hunting in earnest. So I keep having to remind myself that it hasn't been more than 3 months house hunting without any luck. It's been quite a bit less than that, and we are living in a world where there's a housing crisis, where both buyers and renters and whatnot are, it's all messed up because of many reasons. The government being stupid about home buying bonuses and crap like that, and Airbnb just decimating the rental market, and investment conglomerates just buying up all these properties, and a lot of them are sitting empty. But there's properties sitting empty right now that for whatever tax loophole reason are cheaper to leave empty right now than rent out and then pay property taxes on them and crap like that. And You know, there's just a huge pile of reasons why it's a nightmare right now for anybody looking for a new home, either to buy or to rent, pretty much anywhere. And for the last few years, all it's done is get worse. And, you know, prices have spiked, and there's a record number of people doing what I'm doing right now and living out of their bloody cars. In any case, you know, whining about it is not going to fix the problem. Just got to wait to get lucky enough to get picked. I feel like a shelter dog. Just every time there's a new rental unit, it's just me in my cage. Pick me, pick me. But of course, we are moving ever deeper into the hottest part of the year here in Australia, and it's going to get more and more uncomfortable as we go. Sitting back there in that little metal oven of mine. But maybe not for much longer. No, don't do that. Don't hope. So, yeah, I'm going to watch the rest of the sun not rise, and then it's time to go get breakfast. And then whatever the rest of the day is. Rather appropriately, it seems, just as I start recording this bit to camera, an ambulance drives by. Appropriate because in the past, I have praised, in general, the courtesy and the safety and sensibleness and just overall decentness of the drivers here in Ballarat, especially compared to central Melbourne, who are horrendous people on the roads. This morning, there's something in the air. Just on an 8-minute drive, no less than 2 people just pulled out of side streets right in front of me. I had to slam on the brakes to stop plowing into them and T-boning them. First one was some guy in a ute and a trailer who just pulled out of his driveway without even checking. And the second one just happened as I pulled into where I am now, and Australians will recognise that colour scheme, I'm sure. Just on the main road, and as you come into this place here, I had my indicator on going, okay, I'm slowing down so I can turn in. And is that another ambulance? Jesus Christ. Yep, that's another ambulance. Something horrible has happened. And it's not like one ambulance and one support car vehicle, you know, with EMTs or whatever. That was 2 full ambulances. Hope everyone's all right. Well, we'll be all right. Something horrible is happening somewhere. What was I saying? Right, yeah, something horrible nearly happened to me as I was pulling in here. You know, my indicator was on. I'm going to pull in here, and there was someone waiting to pull out of a side street that was before where I was turning off by 10 meters. You know, and she just pulled straight out in front of me. Just fuck it. He's slowing down. I can make it. Just wait for me to turn off. That's the law. That's the rule. Dumb bitch. Lucky for me, I'm a gamer and have gamer reflexes. Otherwise, I might have killed that stupid bastard. Truth of the matter is, fortunately, I was already slowing down, so it was easier to slow down a little more aggressively to stop myself plowing into the couple of sheets of metal and plastic between the Shuttlepod and their death. So, let's talk about why I'm at Officeworks. While I was having my McDonald's, I got a PayPal donation from someone with some very specific instructions on what I should do with this PayPal money, because they wanted me to buy a product that they cannot buy in their home country, but they're about to travel somewhere where you can get them, and they wanted to get a couple of them for their kids. It's a tablet, a newly released tablet from Samsung called the A11 Plus. Pretty sure I remember that right. But yeah, it's only launched in Australia and Europe. It's a budget tablet, 10-inch screen or 9.7 or, you know, whatever. Unlike all of the Samsung Galaxy tablets, that runs their own little front end on top of Android. He thought it would make a good Christmas gift for these 2 kids. However, apparently reviews are a bit hard to come by. Well, trustworthy reviews are a bit hard to come by on this tablet, because all I can find is, you know, these tech channels that just use AI to scramble up the, you know, spec sheet and just go, oh, here are the specs, and it does this, and it does this, and no actual, real, useful reviews from someone they know they can trust for gadget reviews. So their plan was to buy me one so I can tell them if it's any good. But they also know that I've recently complained about reading comments on my e-readers, because I've got a 10-inch black and white e-ink screen e-reader. But because it's a black and white screen, comics don't really present that well on it, and it kind of gets, a lot of the art gets muddy and mushy and stuff. You can still read the text fine, but it loses a lot of, what makes a comic in many respects. I've also got a smaller, like 6-inch, I think, 7-inch, 6.5 inch. Either way, an e-reader with a color e-ink screen, but the size makes it inappropriate to read Western comics on, because everything's shrunk down too much and it makes the text quite difficult to read. In any case, they suggested this might be an ideal tablet to more easily read comics on and give me something else to do, something else to entertain myself with, that won't use a lot of power, such as gaming does. And so that's what brings me here to Officeworks, because they're open right now and they stock it, and they also have a special at the moment that comes with a, well, not a free gift, but a heavily discounted gift of a set of headphones, which I can also use for review purposes, I suppose, or, just use as headphones if they're any good. I have my doubts about them, but I think it's very exciting because it gives me several things to do. I can read comics on it. Hopefully it will be good for reading comics. I'll let you know once I produce the review. Just generally messing around with it while preparing the review is something to do as well. And having a second device like that will open up a slightly more easy path for certain kinds of content that I've been filming. When I switch to the GoPro camera because I need to read off the phone, that kind of stuff, well, I can just keep recording with the phone, which has a better image quality than the GoPro does, because it's a fairly old GoPro and I don't like how the image looks when mixed with the phone footage, because the GoPro over sharpens and over contrasts. But now I can keep recording on the phone and then read off the tablet the stuff I need to refer to, or vice versa, although I doubt whether the tablet's cameras are a match for the ones in my iPhone. But I guess we'll find that out when I do the review as well. And potentially, depending on how efficient the hardware is, it could give me an avenue for watching some of my media, which I would normally watch off the laptop. But of course, the MacBook Air, although very, very efficient battery-wise, it means I can use the tablet to watch content, save the battery in the MacBook, which will save sort of recharging power from the power station in the first place. There's several benefits to this to this tablet. So yeah, I'm more than happy to take them up on that offer, that gift, to go get one of these tablets and produce some sort of on-the-go roadworthiness review, I guess. Anyway, that was a lot of rambling to set the stage for what's about to happen, and that is me walking in there and asking for a tablet. Cut to one retail experience later, and the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus. I did remember the model name correctly. Not what you'd call exciting packaging. It's just a black silhouette. Like it suggests there's a camera, like it's the back of the product. It kind of suggests the camera there with a little, but they must be pretty confident in their product if even the packaging is this plain. To be fair, I mean, how much electronic stuff are we buying just based off the box on a shelf in a physical store these days anyway, so why try? But yeah, there's nothing else on the box except for a sticker on the back that just says Samsung Electronics, use accessible storage is less than total storage, blah, 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 Usual warning of, hey, it's 128 gigabyte, but you don't get 128 gigabyte to use because the operating system has to use some. They do come in different capacities, and there's also a version of this with a SIM card tray as well for mobile connectivity, but we'll talk about that in the proper review, I imagine. But this is the most basic model, which is the 128 gigabytes of storage, 6 gigs of RAM, and just Wi-Fi only. So, being Wi-Fi only, and being that my data from my mobile plan, I have very little left before the rollover date, which is in like 4 days, I think. 3 or 4 days, maybe 5. But as it stands, I will have barely enough for the uploads, much less anything else. So my plan to do the setup on the tablet is to go down to the shopping centre that has, you know, fairly decent Wi-Fi that I can access if I park in the right spot at least, which it's still early. I should be able to get a decent parking spot where I can reach the Wi-Fi and just do the setup using their Wi-Fi, except for the login, because no one puts in their login details on public Wi-Fi, do they? Nobody does that, because that's a dumb thing to do. But yeah, once I use my hotspot on my phone to do my login for my Google account and everything, because it's Android, then I'll switch to the shopping center Wi-Fi and do all the app downloads and updates and software updates and you know, I don't think there'll be an OS update required, because it is like the device literally launched a week and a half ago or something, November 29th. So yeah, there shouldn't be any massive downloads I need to do. I just need a few basic apps to get up and running, and then I'll pull out the SD card from my other e-ink ebook reader thingy that I'm pretty sure I stashed my a small collection of comic books on, so that'll get me up and running pretty quickly. So talk again once I'm up and running. The review won't be in this video. I'll do a proper review. I'll test it for at least a couple of days, and you know, put it through its paces. But first impressions, might as well do that today. Anyway, I'm going to hit the road while the car park is still empty, I guess. All right, basic login and setup done. I've now switched off my phone hotspot. We're connected to the shopping center Wi-Fi. I found a second car park where I can reach it easily, which is nice, because this is one of the under shade ones as well. So now on hot days, I know I can, if I'm lucky, get this spot here or something close to this spot here and get the Wi-Fi. And looks like we're dealing with fairly decent speeds this morning. 56.6 megabit download, 91.7 upload. Very, very nice. That should suffice just fine for getting some downloads done. So I'm going to do that. When we come back, I don't know, I guess I'll give you my first impressions. Actually, I will tell you one first impression right off the bat. You know how glorious the Apple unboxing experience is these days, and has been for many years now, where it just kind of, it almost falls out of the package as you open it up. Everything just pulls apart and presents itself lovely. Samsung are not doing that. They do seem to be using a lot more paper and a lot less plastic in their packaging, you know, environmentally friendly idea and everything. But getting this thing out of the box and out of the paper sleeve it came in, it wasn't what you'd call an Apple experience. I had to fight the entire way through getting this thing out of the box. So, yeah, and there it is. I'm sitting here updating the tablet and downloading stuff, and I get an email 23 hours on the dot, and yeah, rejected. Didn't get the place, which is a pity, because it was one of the really nice ones, but also it was at the top end of the budget, so maybe the one I get approved for will be more affordable. Yay. Told you I shouldn't get my hopes up though. Well, I don't know, despite my best efforts not to get my hopes up and expect failure, it's still kind of kicked the wind out of my sails a bit today, so energy levels plummeted. So I found a shady spot. I'm going to crawl into the back there and hopefully not roast as we head into the warmer part of the day. It's already starting to heat up under direct sunlight. Hopefully this shade lasts. I think it should. And I don't know, I'll just give reading some comics a go on that new tablet, or just pass out and have it fall on my face. One of those two things. It's all part of the review. Does this tablet do any permanent damage to your face if you fall asleep while trying to hold it in front of you? Is that a standard part of tablet testing these days? It's been a while since I've reviewed a mobile device. Okay, so I spent 3 or 4 hours lying in the back there reading comic books on the A11 Plus. First impressions, it's, you know, it's a low power, inexpensive, relatively Android tablet, but does serve us quite well for reading comics. I'll test, the other basic functions over the next couple of days, I suppose. Watching media, surfing the web, games, productivity, drawing, stuff like that. But yeah, first impressions are relatively good for, it's relatively low asking price. Speaking for myself, I'm doing less good. It even though I parked in the shade, it still got pretty warm back there, and it just sort of drained me of energy and stuff, and the disappointment, expected or not, of being rejected for that application that was progressing is left me feeling a bit low. Sure glad I didn't get my hopes up. There is a new inspection for tomorrow to replace the one that got cancelled. Fascinatingly enough, it's in the same block of flats. So the inspection I did have for tomorrow was cancelled, replaced with an inspection for a new listing of a different flat in the same block, which is useful because it will give me an indication of at least the size and average condition and age of the place. I can use that the inspection tomorrow as a reference point for the inspection of the one I didn't, I'm not allowed to see. And if tomorrow's is suitable enough, I might as well apply for both, because they will be very similar anyway, won't they? So, 1.5 inspection tomorrow, I guess. I could try peering through the windows of the other one. Hopefully no one's still there. But yeah, I'm so tired right now. I'm so worn out, and hot and annoyed and a bit sad. And it's too early to eat. That's just, I'll be hungry again by dinner time, but it's too late for lunch. So, I don't know. Day 100. I'm not doing all right. Yeah, I'm not okay.